What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the JoeyH podcast. Today, we got a special guest with us in attendance, Mr. Josh Yearby. How are you today?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. And I really appreciate you taking time out of your day. I know you're busy nowadays, so I appreciate you doing this, man. So,
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
no problem, no problem. So, my first question to you, Josh, is where did you grow up and what was it like growing up there?
So I grew up in Hollywood, Florida, man. Right over there, just the palm trees in Florida. You know, uh, and I grew up in a single home, single parent household, things like that. You know, but I think something that I'll say that shaped where I grew up, man, is just different. Competition. Whether it was my friends in the neighborhood or even my brother, my sister. And that was really, where I can really think about where I'm from, man. Hollywood, Florida. Um, you know, that football atmosphere, that athlete atmosphere, and that's on for me, man.
All right, all right. So I'm gonna ask you what got you into football.
Ah, honestly, man, my mom, she kind of put me in it when I was about 4 years old. I remember I was playing on 8U with my brother, and I always used to cry, not getting in the game. And it was kind of just something my mom, put me into. But then I just fell in love with the game over time. Even like one of my star moments I think I can think of is even back when I was at St. Thomas and I got a interception, my first pick six, you know what I mean? And that really was that moment where I kind of really truly fell in love with the game because, I had a little bit of success in that realm and it was really up from there, honestly, man.
All right, all right. And I do gotta ask you this question because you are a dual sport athlete in college. So what got you into track as well?
I mean, being from Florida, man, if you play football, you got to run track. And that was really the mentality. I wanted to get faster for football. I just stumbled upon it. I didn't like it that much because I was like, man, like all this running, every other sport you run for punishment, and I'm doing this for fun. And I just started doing it because of football, but then the same passion I put into football, I put it into track, and then everything just kind of went together for me. So my whole mindset was, well, I'm doing it, so why not go out there and give 110%? So, and I just started seeing results, honestly.
All right, all right. And yeah, it's funny you say that because I remember at St. Thomas, after like football season was over, the football players would either do track or wrestling.
Yeah,
So, and they just and wrestling can improve your strength and your like mobility, and track, like I feel like it improves your speed, gets your running form on point. So that's really cool to hear. Now, that will lead into my next question. What led to your decision to attend St. Thomas Aquinas?
really, my mom. I remember first hearing about the school and the legacy there. And honestly, I was afraid because coming from the small town I did, St. Thomas seemed like the pros in my mind. Like all the top guys went there. You hear it all the time. The Michael Irvins, the Bosa brothers, uh, and I really wanted to play football. And St. Thomas, even still to this day, powerhouse. That's Power Five in football right there. So
Yeah.
going there, I was like, man, I'll be able to develop, get better, and also my mom, she was really hooked about the academics there as well, and the academics there was outstanding. Even the teachers, even I can remember my one of my favorite teachers still to this day, Miss Phil. You know, she was out there, great teacher, helping me all the time. You know what I mean? And you know, so that was really my decision there.
Yeah, yeah, man. Shout out to Miss Phil. I had
Yeah,
her end of my freshman year because we had like four English teachers my freshman year. And then she came in at the end of the year, and then I had her my whole 10th grade year as well. So yeah, shout out to Miss Phil. I did just recently I emailed her a picture of my college graduation photo when I got my associate's degree. It
yeah,
was
that's what's up, man.
yeah, she was so proud of me and like yeah, she inspired me. That's great to hear, man. That's great to hear,
Yeah.
how she inspired you as well, how she helped you. So then you transfer to avant-garde. What was the experience like playing there?
The experience was amazing. Shout out to Coach Luque. He was over at U School for a couple years. I had family members that played that he coached, and he really gave me an opportunity, and it was a great experience just to go out there. Pretty much similar atmosphere as St. Thomas, I would say. Uh, we ended up going 8-1, losing to John Carroll in the playoffs. I had a pretty solid season, and it was a big statement for me. And I just had a great experience just to be able to learn because I think at St. Thomas I was playing, but I wasn't like really a big factor, especially with me being so young. But coming to Avant Garde, I got a chance to really learn a lot more in game, a lot of experience, some things that I wasn't really getting at St. Thomas. That experience was amazing, honestly.
All right, all right. And then after that, you transferred to Coconut Creek for your final year. What was it like playing there as well?
Coconut Creek, man, the Creek boys, man, Coconut Creek, I was honestly blessed. You know what I mean? My coach ended up, my senior year, kind of saying that he was done coaching, so that kind of shattered my dreams. I had to find another school, uh, and they welcomed me with open arms. Came there about the second day of school, joined their team, and in Florida, missing, summer practices is big. They accepted me. I worked all the way from fifth string all the way up to second string, and I learned a lot there. Learned honestly how to be patient, stay true to my technique there. I had a lot of good competition just in my room. Some guys like Haija Miller, Gino there. There was a lot of top guys I was playing with there. But I also had a great experience in track. Uh, Track was amazing. That's where I met my coach, who he went to the University of Florida and ran track there. And he honestly took my level. Just he raised the bar for me, helped me see the vision in track, push harder than I ever thought I could. And he's ultimately the reason why I'm even running the way I'm running now today because of the way he pushed me there. And Creek was just really a great experience. It was a lot different from the first two schools I went to. Obviously, academics, but the one thing I can say at Creek, it was a family. I still talk to my coaches, still in connect with them. Yeah, it was amazing, man.
That's great to hear, man. That's great to hear. I don't really know much about Coconut Creek, so it's good to get some insight about that. We never played them when I was in high school, but I do believe your senior year, you guys like the year because
Yeah, to
for the
knock
people,
out the playoffs, they knocked us out the playoffs. St. Thomas.
yeah, for the
I
people
think.
that don't know, Josh is a year younger than me. So uh, after I left, you guys got to play St. Thomas. So yeah, it was the playoffs, right?
Yeah, it was the playoffs. I think it was like 56-7 or something like that.
Ah,
They put belt to us. I almost had an interception that game too. But it was also cool to see my teammates, even Coach Harriet, what I mean? Shout out to him too.
yeah.
Coach Joe, he was somebody that really helped me develop my skills coming in too. And then guys like Conrad King, all those guys, it was cool to see. Yeah, but they kicked us out. They gave us that boot. So, but it was it was a good game though.
That's great to hear. You got to see all your old teammates, man, and that's awesome, man. That's great to hear. So now, what led to your decision to attend Beloit College, and what has your experience been like playing sports there?
Honestly, what led me to come here was this was the only school that was willing to allow me to play football and run track. Uh, I had a lot of track interests versus football. I had a couple D3s, couple NAIA schools, not a lot of Division I schools. Coming in, honestly didn't want to run track by itself. I had one Division I from Grambling, so I kind of turned that one down and just came to Beloit. But once I saw the facility here, that indoor turf field, um, just the school, college life, honestly was locked in. I saw everything I needed, and I was just ready to come in and commit. But Beloit has really changed me a lot as a person. I think blessed. I was blessed to even come here. Just the people I met, the different things I learned about different walks of life of people. I think coming from Florida, sometimes you're in that little box, you know what I mean, and you're not seeing that there's another side of the world. People respond to things differently.
Absolutely.
Yeah, people talk differently. Some things tick people off differently, and learning that different side of the world was great for me. And I think too, it was amazing to see a different side of football here. Like a lot of people here, I'm used to that different type of football energy. But when you go to different places, you notice that they have their passion, but it's in a different form, so they all have different loves for the game. And it's been pretty amazing, just to work with my teammates and then also just seeing my growth at Beloit. It's been quite honestly amazing watching me come from, 140, I mean, not 140, about 130 coming in, I think, to, about one almost 160 now, so like that's the one thing I just loved about this place is it just helped shape me and really get my mind right in the right space. And yeah, man.
That's great, man. That's awesome to hear. I do have to ask you though, when living in Wisconsin, what like is it has it been like a big weather adjustment for you?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. When I first got here, I'll never forget it was a practice. It was getting cold, but the way it goes in Wisconsin, so first it'll be like 70s when you first get here in August, 80s, 70s.
Hmm.
But then you have time to adjust to the temperature. So you might go to 50. And then at first you like, all right, this cold. 40, you get adjusted. 30. But man, once it got to like 20 and below, and I'll never forget I was we had practice and I was like, bro, I'm never coming back here. I'm like, bro, like imagine having to, because I play cornerback. So imagine having to guard a receiver, you know, it's 5 degrees outside. He's still trying to, and some of these guys, they're not wearing arm sleeves.
Yeah.
It's 5 degrees and they just like, yeah, come on, bro. So, it was a different adjustment for sure. Now I think I'm fine. Like, I can wear like a hoodie and, some sweats. And even today, my coach got on me today. I think it was probably like 18 degrees and I'm wearing this. And he like, come on, man, put on some more clothes. And I done got adjusted. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Especially that wind chill, man.
Oh yeah, man. That's
Kills
that's
you.
honestly the worst if I'm being real.
Yeah, dude. I could only imagine. So, I do have to ask you, what is one athlete that you admired growing up and tried to imitate in your everyday life?
That's a really good one. Man, it's a lot. I think the Kobe mentality, Kobe was somebody he inspired me to raise the bar. And I think that's always something that I'm constantly thinking about amongst myself. Well, even when I win, right? I can always get better. One saying that I've been saying all year is keep chasing. And that was kind of honestly inspired from Kobe, right? I've always seen just growing up watching him because I used to hoop a little bit. I always would watch him like he's always going out there just trying to kill, trying to dominate, trying to get better. Win, lose, or draw, he's going back at it. And that was honestly somebody that I admired, the LeBron, just how he did everything the right way from taking care of his body, treating it right, and same thing with me. Like I look at myself as a Lamborghini, right? So I can't pour soda in there. I can't pour all these different things in my body, but expect for this Lambo to go super fast or do all these things. I gotta put premium gas. I can't put 87 in there. I gotta go put 93 full tank, and then once it is getting a little low, we gotta put 93 back in again, like constantly. So that's just my mindset. And guys like LeBron, guys like Kobe, guys like Tyrann Mathieu, my favorite player.
Mm.
Definitely one of my favorite players. I was honestly a little hurt seeing him retire, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but even guys like him, that courage he had of being small but being so smart, paying attention to the details. Those are all guys that I've took things from and just really put it into me as an athlete and as a person, trying to when I'm out here in the sports world or even, I'm trying to push myself to the max. So whether that's am I doing extra core, yeah, the team might do core, but what extra am I doing? Am I taking time outside of my day? Because you got 24 hours, so I'm taking time out to do extra core, you know, making sure I'm in the rehab room, fixing my body, hydrating, just doing all the little things just to make sure that I'm 1% and I can be elite. Because I'm not going in to just, you know, come out there, maybe I can win, or no, we're coming out to win every time. But the only way we do that is by strictly preparation, strictly paying attention to the details, being intentional. And Kobe was that guy who for sure I was paying attention to because I noticed he'd kind of slay sick comments to people, but behind closed doors, he's only talking like this because I'm putting in the work. You know what I mean? I'm putting in that work so hard that I can try to play around and act like, I'm doing this, but I just did 3 workouts today.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's just those guys I was really watching my whole life, man.
That's great, man. And I was actually watching Tyra Matthews podcast today, and I actually Googled, like, I looked at his Wikipedia page, and I couldn't believe that my guy is 5'9".
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe, like, because I remember watching him at LSU, that he was 5'9", doing all this in college. But I'll say this though, like, he in the football world, he had the size of a miniature dachshund, but he had the heart and the fight of a pit bull. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And like, you adopting that mentality, I feel like will take you a long way in the sports world. So that's awesome that you mentioned Tyron Matthew for sure.
Yeah, definitely,
So
man.
yeah, so now I do gotta ask you. I ask almost everyone this question that comes on my platform, and it's a really open-ended question. You really don't know what kind of answer, or I don't know what kind of answer I'm gonna get. And a lot of people have a lot of different answers. So I'm gonna ask you, what motivates you?
Uh, That's a good one, man. Honestly, and I was just talking about this with my pops. I can just remember this specific time competing, and I think he was someone that sparked that. A couple other guys I grew up with, but I can just remember this specific time racing my dad, and I can't beat him, right? And something just that competitive nature in me. I don't like to lose. I'll do anything possible to win. And I think that competitive fire in me, it always motivates me to whatever I'm doing. You know what I mean? If my name is attached to it, right? Like I think, and that's even the reason why I got so good at track, right? I'm going out there to compete, man, and I want to win, right? You know, I'm not out there playing around. If we playing chess, I'm not good at chess. Like one of my friends, he beat me in chess recently, and he talking trash to me, and I'm
Mm.
like, wait till we play again, bro. Like, and he don't even know. Like, for the last couple nights, I'm playing chess because I gotta beat him. Like, I gotta win. You know what I
I
mean?
get you, man.
And same thing with basketball. Me and my best friend Chris, man. Like we play basketball. Sometimes he'll win. I will win. But he didn't know behind closed doors when we was kids. Man, I'm going out there and really putting up 100 shots. And then really just my upbringing as well, man. I think some of the hardships and experiences I had of feeling like I didn't have much, you know, that inspired me and pushed me to even where I'm at right now. Because I remember back in high school, not having a lot of things, it pushed me, man, to want to be better,
Mm,
like want to give my all. So, you know, and that fire and honestly, me learning the word work, like hard work, man, that motivated me to, you know, push out whatever. And honestly, that's really just my motivation, man. Is if my name is attached to it and am I doing it, I want to give 120%. You know, like if me and you racing in, the marathon, right? Like you might be the best marathon runner, but you beating me, you don't know, man. Next time we race, I want to beat you. So I'm
yeah.
gonna do everything I possibly can. And it's just that competitive nature in me, man. And I could blame my guy Bryce, Bryce Oliver for that. He played for the Tennessee Titans, my god brother. But all the time he used to be beating me on the games, whether it was video games, basketball, you know, and I couldn't beat this man nothing. And I think he was another guy too that pushed that in me because I'm just a competitive dog. You know what I mean? Like I want to win, and I'm gonna go out and do everything I can to prepare. And I just think my upbringing, that background of coming from some of the things I experienced of not having much, also just especially when I get in that fire, that brings me back to, you know, those moments of where, I can do this because it was times where I felt like I couldn't. So
Mm. All right, man. Then that's yeah, that's amazing to hear. You know what I mean? If you feel comfortable talking about it, I know you say you grew up in a single parent household. What happened? What led to it, and how does it make you a better person? Like to this day.
yeah, man. Just seeing my mom struggle, man. She was on her own. She went to college, went in school in Puerto Rico, man, and just going through that experience, watching her go to work, not complain, working two jobs, making sacrifices. It pushed me to a point, man, where I wanted better. And I can even remember, my living situation, man. it got to a point, even one time we was living in a 1 bedroom apartment, you know, and I remember pushing myself like, man, you know, I want better, and I want to make it to the NFL. You know, I want to do all these things. And the one thing I remembered in those moments was I just got to put in the work. And kind of going through those experiences, dealing with some of those things, and my mindset as a kid at that time, it wasn't, you know, I'm not trying to go to all these parties. You know, I'm not trying to do all this stuff and, you know, hang around, man. I'm trying to be the best, you know. So my mindset back then especially was such, you know, I got a vision and I'm writing it down and I'm chasing all of those goals. You know what I mean? I'm creating, even still to this day, I'm creating small goals, medium goals, and then even things that are like out the roof. You know what I mean? And I'm a big visionary, man. So even from back then, and I think those moments, man, of not having, you know, watching my mom struggle and watching her really make ends eat, you know, not eating some nights, or, you know, I'm probably hearing her, I done probably even heard her cry. You know, she probably didn't think I heard, but she's dealing with it, you know, or she's telling me to do this or do that. And I might be giving her smack or whatever because, you know, I'm upset with this, but whole time she might not know that behind closed doors, I'm putting in the work so that I could change her life forever, so that she
Mm,
don't have to even work anymore. That motivated me, that pushed me. I can even think of back going to avant-garde. Uh, it was a 7 mile walk to practice. And this was like, I'm gonna give you like a little typical day. 7 mile walk to practice. Sometimes it got to a certain part towards the end. I used to bike those 7 miles, so that was a blessing. You know what I
mm,
mean? But I would 7 miles to practice. Get there. We got practice. I'm already sweating. I'm drenched. And usually I would have to run because a lot of times I'll be late because it's about an hour and a half walk. So I'm running there. I get there. I got to run again. We got suicides. We got, you know, mat drills. Then we got actual football practice. I get there. I'm doing all those things with max effort, eating, you know, doing whatever. Walk back home, go get some extra work in, and I'm repeating that cycle. Like,
mm.
and I remember those days, and it wasn't even like I don't want to do this type of thought process, because the thought process then was I want this. So it doesn't matter that I'm tired. It doesn't matter that, you know, my body hurting a little bit. Like, I want to be great. Like, and then I knew I wasn't ranked, you know what I mean? I locked up some big names, but that all that did was give me the boost, but that I can actually play at the level. But it really motivated me to, like, man, you know, I don't have any offers. You know, I don't have any offers from any big schools, you know. I think the only school I might have talked with, FIU, you know, Pitts, they never offered, you know, but I had interest from them, talking to them my junior year. But other than that, so my motivation was strictly, you know, getting out of that circumstance and on the gas, you know, every day, regardless of I'm tired, you know. And even then, I laugh now because I used to complain about the way I was working out. I was expecting that I would have been a lot bigger, but later learning in college, like, calorie intake is really big.
Mm.
So I was doing the work, but I just wasn't taking in the calorie intake, and that probably would have helped me too with recruiting, being a little bit bigger. You know, if I'm 180 at that time or 170, you know, things would have probably paid out a little better. But yeah, that was really my mindset in that whole, you know, through that whole time period, honestly.
Okay. And the emotion you feel talking about your mother, like that's powerful, and I don't this is my last question on that situation, and I'll leave it alone. And if you don't feel comfortable talking about it, I completely understand. But do you have a relationship with your father at all, or
Oh
is
yeah, yeah.
are you guys tight? Do you guys talk often, or what's the situation?
Yeah, for sure. Now I definitely have a relationship with my pops. You know, he was kind of growing up, he was kind of dealing with his own things. And I think even as a kid, I struggled with it a little bit. I'm gonna be honest. Kind of him not being there a little bit. But what motivated me even around that time, especially when I was in high school, was I have to do it. You know what I mean? If I don't have the example, or that's not an excuse. You know what I mean? Now things are a lot better. You know, I talk to him all the time. And, you know, he's a real smart guy. He give me a lot of great advice. I mean, especially during that time, you know what I mean? He was in and out, not present that much, you know what I mean? So it was hard to really go to him, especially in high school. That was when I really most needed him. I honestly got through it, and I looked at it, especially during that time, I kind of looked at it as, well, you know, I got to do it anyway. You know, I just got to go harder. You know, my pops might not be around in this certain situation, or maybe I needed this. You know, it might have been some shoes or something I might have wanted that, you know, if could have happened, I would have boom, or that would have boosted my confidence in this. But honestly, all it did was it just made me like, man, I got to go harder. And it's good, I would even say, for him right now, you know what I mean, to him being around and kind of, you know, being there for me through this time and everything too. So
All right. Well, that's great to hear, man. That's awesome to hear that you and him are on good terms, and that's I feel like that's essential in this world. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, for sure, bro.
every boy needs a father. You know what I mean? Like someone they could confide in, someone they could talk to. Now, my last question of this interview, we're going on 35 minutes now. This has been one for the ages, and we've been trying to do this for a while. And again, Josh, I gotta appreciate you for doing this.
For sure.
So, my last question is, what can we expect from you in the future?
Man, that's a good question. Uh my goals are high, man. Um all pro cornerback. Uh you can expect Olympian, gold medalist, national champion. That was some recently. I was working on this weekend. I fell short. You can expect a guy in the community, uh, just helping people. I think something that I love to do in my life right now is just helping people, whether it's young athletes, whether it's people my age, or even older people, you know, like helping people. Like I feel like that is one of my gifts that I have. I'm constantly trying to help people. And you can just expect the guy that is a hard worker at anything. Also, you know, something that I do in my spare time, I make music. You know, I sing. You know, I actually was in the choir back in when I went to St. Thomas too. That was something. But yeah, that's pretty much me right now at this state of my life right now that I can, you know, think of. So
All right. Well, that's great to hear.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Josh, I got to thank you for taking time out of your day. Again, I know you're really busy nowadays with track, and I know soon to be football. So, Josh, thank you so much for doing this, man. And any final words you want to leave off with the audience?
Yeah, for sure. So I've been saying it all year. Anybody that follows me on Instagram at Yearby underscore era. But keep chasing, man. It's something I've been saying all year. And it's been my whole motto, keep chasing. So regardless of how you feel, regardless of if it's a positive or a negative, man. Keep chasing. And that goes for anybody out there. You know, if you want to be good at anything, whether it's, you know, you work at McDonald's and things might not be the best, keep chasing, you know, inspired to be the best, you know, the best fry maker, you know, best cashier. Same thing if you, you know, you work in that job and you got that family, inspired to be that best version of yourself. Keep chasing, showing up. And then even for the young athletes that's trying to get to my level, trying to be where I'm at, keep chasing, keep putting in work. Don't think that you already have made it, even when you have accolades. Like even myself, with me having the accolades I have, I could easily take my foot off the gas and rest. But my motto, whether it's a positive or a negative, keep chasing, keep showing up, keep pressing, pressing, pressing. Don't worry about what the doubters or the haters are saying, or just keep chasing. Because regardless of what, it's gonna be a time when you turn around and you're gonna be able to say, like, wow, I did all of this. But if I was too busy turning around, I wouldn't have been able to see like the vision that I was chasing. And that's just something that's been working for me. And I definitely think it could work for a lot more people, you know, whether it's a positive or a negative, you know, and I even break it down whether you are the national champion or, you know, you lost like me, right? Keep chasing, right? Like it doesn't matter because there's always somebody coming, you know, and you always can get better and do more. And always keep that mindset. And I think that each and everyone will get better. And eventually, when you turn around, you'll see that success, man. So
I
that's my
love it,
nugget
man. I love it. You
for sure.
know, I'll start using that motto myself. That's a great motto. Keep
Yes, sir.
chasing. And yeah, man. I appreciate you, Josh, again for doing this, bro. And yeah, man. I thank you for uh inspiring the folks here. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir, for sure. Appreciate you too, man. It's a blessing to always share the, you know, the wisdom and the knowledge, and just to be able to speak and kind of, you know, give my views and kind of, you know, inspire the world, man. So thank you for allowing me to be able to do this on your platform, man. It's a blessing.
No problem, man. No problem. That's gonna be all for today's episode, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Josh's links will be in the description. And thank you guys so much for watching and have a great day. Peace out.